Hey Gemini, what's up gang? I hope everybody is well. So we're going to go ahead and do what are the signs trying to tell you right now. If that is something that interests you, do stick around. Gemini, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Jessica. Please take a look at my description box. That will have all the information that you need to know. And yes, this is a Gemini channel. However, if you vibe, you tribe, so go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Gemini, if you're returning, welcome back. I hope that you're well. Hope you're taking care of yourself. I do hope that you're doing what's best for you, boo. Thank you for all the love, all the support. Gemini, thank you for all the good vibes. It really does mean the world, okay? All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into this. This was the reading that was voted for in the community tab, okay? So, yeah, what the signs are trying to tell you. I feel like Spirit wants you to know, first of all, that the signs are a physical representation and manifestation of what your intuition is already trying to tell you, okay? So you're seeing signs to kind of almost confirm what your intuition is telling you. There's very rarely are you going to have signs that come through that you don't know what this is talking about. Maybe on a conscious level, you're like, what does that 555 mean? But deep inside, you've already been thirsting some kind of change. You've already recognized that there's change that's taking place in your life. That is basically a physical representation of what your intuition is telling you. So sometimes we just need to stop and think a little bit deeper about what the signs are that we're getting and what's actually happening in our life. You know, being present and being in the moment, that can really help, okay? Now for your intuitive message, we have the snake with the sun that came out. They brought me to the shedding process of the snake because what I heard is this is just a shedding process. And snakes, when they shed, they have their new skin, a layer of liquid, and then their old skin, okay? And I don't know what the snakes feel when they go through shed, but I assume that it's an uncomfortable sensation, maybe a little itchy, because they rub themselves up against something to get the shed off. They can be very irritable when they're going through shed. They like to be left alone. They're very recluse. They're in their hide a lot more than they usually are. And they can even refuse food. And this is also when owners can get bit by their snakes because they're in blue and their eyes are cloudy. Because yes, snakes shed their eye caps, which are called spectacles. But before that, there's like, again, a cloudy blue energy where they can't really see. So they're just seeing shapes and shadows coming towards them. And as a defense to protect themselves, they'll lash out, you know? So it's best just leave your snake alone when it's shedding, Gemini. And there could be something here about you being that snake that's in blue right now, in shedding, okay? Something is very temporary is what Spirit is wanting you to know. This will not last forever. Though the frustration that you're feeling is very real, and perhaps the irritation and, itchiness that you're feeling is very real, it's not going to last forever. You just need to allow the process to happen, okay? And just like most snakes, after they shed, they look beautiful, brand new. Their colors are vibrant. Sometimes their patterns even shift or change a little bit. You know, they look amazing after they're shed and they feel better. They're hungry. They're ready to eat. They're ready to kind of, have enrichment in their life. And so this could be something that's happening for you as well. Spirit wants you to know the sun is going to come out after your shedding process. Now the sun came out with this snake, and I find it interesting because I heard also there's going to be a snake that's going to be revealed. So for some of you, somebody has been doing some snaky stuff around you. They've been talking about you. They've been intentionally trying to hurt you, intentionally trying to sabotage you, okay? Maybe trying to trick you or manipulate you or use you in some kind of way. This is going to come to light. Nothing can hide in the light, okay? All the shadows are going to be revealed here. And this could also be talking about yourself, your insecurities, your fears, any kind of habits or things that maybe, you're not too proud of. It's like these things are having a light shed upon them so you can see them clearly. Because wherever you're going next, you don't need to hold on to this extra baggage or this extra heaviness that's not going to do anything for you, Gemini, okay? So there's a need to kind of recognize what is not serving you any longer and allow yourself to let that go. Now, I did get a message, and I don't know who this is for, but there is a message of, I got a couple messages. The first message here is doing some kind of symbolic closure thing, okay? So maybe you feel like you can't let go of something or move on past what's happened because you never really got closure. Sometimes closure, much like forgiveness, is not about the other person. It's a very individual, personal thing for yourself. And so give yourself closure by writing a letter. Write a letter to the person, to the people, to Spirit, to yourself, whatever. But write this letter and express everything that you want to express and what you hope the other person has maybe learned or, you know, describe how you felt, because maybe you didn't get a chance to really tell the other person, this is how I'm feeling. This is why I'm reacting this way, or this is what's going on, you know? Sometimes when things kind of fall apart or things happen, it can be very fast and jumbled, and then it's done. And it's like we didn't really get a chance to just actually slow down and express what we were feeling inside, or even listen to what the other person was feeling. And that can cause that lack of closure, okay? I wouldn't suggest sending the letter. I'm a big fan of writing letters. I write letters all the time to people that they never see them, they'll never see them. It's just to get the energy out there so that way you're not holding on to it, okay? Also, I don't know who this is for, but there's some kind of third party energy that's showing up. I feel like somebody's trying to tempt you into a third party situation. I have no idea, guys. Just only take this if it resonates. This could be a feminine energy that's trying to tempt a masculine energy into some kind of third party, because for some reason they're giving me the Garden of Eden with the snake. An attempting thing, but this is going to be exposed. So if you get into an affair or some kind of illicit third party or whatever, the spouse of this person, male or female, is going to find out about this, and this could be detrimental to you. Not only is it that, but it's also going to lead to a lot of shame for you, because you already know that this is below you and something that you shouldn't be involved in anyways. There could be loneliness, there could be you know, lust, there could be a lower level temptations, right? There low self-esteem or whatever that's making you get into this situation in the first place, but it's not going to end well for you. I also get the energy I heard, and this is, I swear, this is what I heard. She's just bored, bro. That's what I heard. Okay, so if somebody is like, oh, my husband, my wife, they don't touch me the same way anymore. They don't listen to me. They never ask how my day is. It's like, these things are things to try to like stroke that sympathy string and cord that you have within you, because this person sees that you're a good person. They need to go work on the relationship with the person that they're in a relationship with. They need to go to counseling. They need to go to therapy. They don't need to go to your bed. Okay? That's not going to help the situation at all. So somebody is getting a warning right now, and you might be getting signs about this, okay? That this is a situation you need to stay far away from. Okay? So that is for somebody. Also, I've noticed, because as somebody who at one point in my life, maybe to this day, I don't know, I'm not trying to psychoanalyze myself right now, but I have noticed in my life before that I have been somebody who has been a little emotionally unavailable. And I used to get myself into third parties when I was younger, because I actually, at the end of the day, wasn't ready to be emotionally available for somebody. And so getting myself into a situation where I knew it wasn't going to be something that could be committed and solid and actually out in the light of day was like a defense mechanism. Also, if you have low self-esteem and you need that external validation, getting yourself into third parties can also be that validation, because if I get chosen over this person, I'm special. Okay? But what Spirit said, and this is just Spirit, guys, Spirit's coming through with savagery for whoever this is, but they're saying you're not chosen, you're just next. Okay? Because this person might have a history of doing that. This person could have been in a marriage for a while now, and the luster is wearing off, and that's when the commitment and the devotion to your partner comes through. I mean, I've never been married, so maybe I shouldn't speak on marriage, but I am somebody that does believe in the sanctity and the sacredness of marriage. And I know that this relationships and marriage is something you have to work at every single day. And so if you start to feel things like that happening, you need to be able to communicate with your partner. And again, I would suggest going into therapy. Okay? I would not suggest going into somebody else's bed. That's not going to fix your marriage or even help you have a better day, right? Whew. Okay, so that is just a message that needed to come out, guys. I don't know. That was just what I got. Now let's get some angel numbers. Okay? What are the signs trying to tell Gemini gang? What are the signs trying to tell them? Ooh, this is a big one. We have 743. This is a time for you to rediscover aspects of yourself and your gifts that you have been hidden and forgotten. Your guardian angels are drawing close and helping you dive deep within to see yourself through the eyes and of excitement and wonder, okay? So basically, right now what the signs are telling you is it's time to rediscover yourself. It's time to really delve into your gifts, your talents, your skills. You're so talented, Gemini. You're so gifted, and I feel like your ancestors, your angels, spirit itself wants you to know that, you know? But it's time for you to rediscover those parts of yourself that have been hidden and forgotten. So right now, if you feel like you're taking a little bit of a deep dive and looking at yourself very closely and it might be a little uncomfortable, this is exactly what's needed. So I feel like the signs are telling you to keep putting in effort, keep learning, keep growing, keep recognizing how talented you are or how special you are. What else do we have here for Gemini gang? What are the signs trying to tell Gemini? How about 290? I'm also getting 289, so we're going to do that one too. 290 says, take charge and lead by example. God is walking with you. Okay. And then 289 says, reclaim your truth, reclaim who you are, and know that you are here to rise high. I feel like there's something about standing in your own authenticity, you know, not lowering your standards, not doing things to make other people feel comfortable or to feel happy, Gemini. Okay. There's an energy here of allowing yourself to take charge of your life and lead by example. What would I want my kids or my community or my family or whatever people to see me doing, right? But not in a way of like you're hiding yourself, but a way of like you're rising to your full potential. You're stepping into the fullest energy, the highest energy that you can step for yourself. There's also a need for you to reclaim your truth here, reclaim who you are, okay? There's something about that. The last number talked about that too. But taking a deep dive and looking at who you are as a person, because you have something very valuable to give, and that could be what the signs are trying to tell you. Who are you, right? Let yourself be who you are. Reclaim your truth. Lead by example. You want people around you to start living in their authenticity and stop being so scared. Stop doing what other people want them to do because of their reputation or what society says or what's proper or whatever. Well, it starts with you, Gemini. And yes, it's going to make people uncomfortable when you're living your truth and you're not going by the status quo. But what it's also going to do is low-key inspire people to do the same. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants to be authentic. Everybody wants to feel free to be who they are. People don't want to have to hide. We hide because we're not sure if we're going to be accepted or we're scared, right? But your bravery to be who you are and step out into the light and say, this is who I am, and if you don't vibe, you don't vibe. Oh well, right? It's going to encourage other people to want to do the same thing. One more angel number for what the signs are trying to tell you. We have 654. Your angels are supporting you through any changes that are necessary at this time. Know that as you make room for new in your life, you are also making room for miracles. Wow, that's powerful. And guys, you know, and I see actually 654 a lot. I'm just recognizing that because I see numbers like that, like 456, 654, 123, 321. I see stuff like that. Yeah, there's an energy here with that. Again, it's just the shedding process is what Spirit's saying. Relax yourself. You know, I know it's feeling a little bit uncomfortable for you and maybe even a little bit unnatural, but these changes are necessary right now for your growth. And know that as you're making room for the new in your life, you're making room for miracles. You're making room for possibilities that you never even imagined could happen for you, which is pretty awesome, okay? So let's go ahead and get into this, guys. We're going to look into the tea leaves here. We're just going to pull just a couple tea leaves for what the signs are trying to tell Gemini gang. What are the signs that Gemini is trying to tell them, okay? We have the boot, increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals, that came out with chair filled. So the boot says, stop making excuses. You may feel asked to produce some kind of result. These boots are made for walking, okay? And I don't know if I read it. I literally cannot remember. It says, increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. And then chair filled says, someone new is entering your life, a new soul contract, fated in a chance meeting. Okay. So I'm getting a couple messages here. For some of you guys, yes, that's the energy. Keep going. Even when things don't look like it's going the way that you necessarily would want, you know, you're not seeing the results that you want to see, keep going. You need to increase your efforts. You need to try new things. You need to be creative. You need to put a new stamp on something. Stop making excuses for why something couldn't, wouldn't, shouldn't, didn't work out, okay? What's meant for you is not going to miss you, Gemini, okay? It's not going to miss you. Sometimes we come together with things and then we go apart and then we come back together again. Sometimes we come together to learn lessons, go apart to process the lessons and grow, come back together to find the dream fully realized. Sometimes we come together with things, we go apart and we never see those things again. But either way, what's meant for you is not going to miss you. So there's no reason to feel anxiety, stress, angst when things don't work out. Right? But if you know you have it in your power and in your control to make something better by putting effort into something, then yes, that's what you should do. okay? The chair filled, a chance meeting, fated. There is somebody that's coming into your life or has already came into your life. This person is meant to be in your life. There's something very fated about this. This person is possibly meant to help you achieve something, grow. They might, it just in their energy, push you to the next level. They might show you a lot of things about yourself, but there's a very fated meeting here, okay? This person has a soul contract with you. Let's get another one. Let's get one more, I think, for what the signs are trying to tell Gemini gang. What are the signs trying to tell Gemini gang? What are the signs trying to tell Gemini here? The signs Gemini is getting. We have teardrops that came out, okay? Great personal sorrow, deep loss, a breakup, and regret, okay? So for some of you guys, the signs could be trying to tell you, I'm getting a couple things, y'all, okay? The signs could be trying to tell you that the reason something didn't work out was because maybe you didn't put in enough effort. You know, or maybe because somebody didn't put in enough effort. Take it as it resonates. Somebody did not put in enough effort when whatever this soul connection was that came into their life came into their life. They treated it like it was regular schmegular. It was just one in a million, or you know, a billion in a million, right? It's like easily accessible, and I don't really need to try here. But really, they needed to put in some kind of effort. This person could be in deep regret right now. So if you're the person that didn't put in enough effort, you're learning this lesson now, and that's what the signs are telling you, right? You got to treat things that are important to you like they are important. You have to make time. You have to make things a priority if they are special and important to you. For others of you, if you were the one that you put in a lot of effort, the other person didn't put in any effort or didn't put in enough or whatever, they had other things that they were focused on, which doesn't make them a bad person, by the way. It just makes you guys not aligned, right? But if that's the case, you could be getting signs right now that this person is actually going through some kind of regret and sorrow about this. They are realizing that you were very special to them and that they should have put in some kind of effort in regards to you. Okay? But this is the learning lesson that we go through. Like, this is how we learn sometimes about things. We have sunrise on the bottom of the deck, new creative ideas, new ventures, and a fresh start, morning surprises, a redo, and then it says light after the dark. So what the signs could be telling you is that this isn't the end for you, right? If something didn't work out, you might not come back together with that person, place, or thing, but that doesn't mean that something new can't enter your life. And that might be where some of you guys need to do this closure that we talked about, okay? Because for some of you, there's a need here to allow yourself to let go of what has not worked out. If it's meant to be yours, it truly is meant to be yours, and you can't miss it, and it will come back around somehow, some way. But if it's not, then it's not, and what you're doing is you're taking up space when you could be opening yourself up for new people, places, and things. Because this doesn't have to just be about a person. This could be an opportunity or something that, you know, you really wanted to work out and it didn't. This could be a job that you wanted, but it just didn't happen, you know? This could be a house that you put a bid on and it fell through for whatever reason. And it's like you're feeling really sad about that, you know? But this is not the time to get into this victim mentality. Not that people can't be victimized, we can. But if we step into that identity, that is what we're going to manifest for ourselves, because that's what we're telling Spirit. We are telling Spirit we're victims. So, well, the victims need to be victimized, right? You're a survivor, Gemini. You are an overcomer here. And some would even say an overachiever. There's this energy here of getting a light after the dark. And I feel like that's very important to realize here. Okay? I'm actually going to put that out. Yeah, disappointment in a friend or lover. Some of you guys are very disappointed in yourself over how something happened, or you're very disappointed in somebody else how something happened. You feel like somebody, you know, recognize the soul connection, knew this was special, knew this was once in a lifetime. You don't meet people like this, you don't connect like this with people very often, and they tossed it away like it was nothing, or they allowed it to be tossed away. You know, they knew that the other person was unsatisfied and they didn't do anything to try to reconcile that. They just were like, well, okay, I respect it, right? Well, if that's the case, this person's feeling a lot of pain now, but you could also be going through pain too, okay? Whew, okie dokie, schmoky. Okay, so let's go ahead and clarify this, because this is what the signs are trying to tell you right now. Keep in mind, these are timeless readings, right? And things shift. The signs could be trying to tell you something at any other given state of your life. So, you know, this is just right now. This is what the signs are trying to tell you, Gemini. The boot, increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goal. What is this saying here for what the signs are trying to tell Gemini gang? The boot. We have the King of Swords. Yeah, some of you guys need to kind of think about something and what you want, how you want something to go, how you see something developing here. You know, there's an energy here of maybe planning, maybe brainstorming here with the King of Swords. There's a need to really kind of assess, like, okay, well, what is my target audience, or what is my target goal here? What do I want to see realized within the situation? Is this something that is logical? Are my expectations of this situation logical? Because if not, then maybe I need to pull it back and expect less. Because if I expect less, then I won't be disappointed as much. That could be something as well here that I could see, okay? There's just this need here to really brainstorm or think about something. But there is a need to put more effort in if you want to see something realized, Gemini, okay? Now, for some of you guys, if you were dealing with somebody who didn't put effort in, or you were that person that didn't put enough effort in, okay? This could have come from a fear place, because this is my fearful avoidant card, the Nine of Wands. Okay, and so this could be talking about how you let your fears or old patterns kind of take over here, and this caused you to be cold and distant and look at something in a very logical, standoffish type of way, you know? But I feel like this is being realized now. Again, this is what the signs are trying to tell you, or this is what the signs are trying to tell you about somebody. Like, this is why they acted like this, or this is why something went down the way it went down. Somebody was a fearful avoidant, okay? One thing happened, or a couple things happened that really triggered them, and that was it. They're a runner, they're a track star, right? They were gonna run, okay? Because it's a defense mechanism. You know, I have a love-hate relationship with avoidance, because I've dealt with a lot of them throughout my life in many different ways, not just romantic. And I've done a lot of research on avoidance. And that's one of the things that can be difficult here with avoidance, is that they're not bad people. Like, they're not these evil people that are narcissistic that just want to hurt you, you know? They are trying to protect themselves when they pull into this avoidant energy here. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to protect themselves. Now, it doesn't make it right, but you have to be cognizant. You have to notice when somebody is giving you those avoidant signs and tendencies and clues and hints, like, okay, this person's a little bit avoidant. Okay, so you need to decide right off the bat if that's something that you want to deal with or not. Some of you guys could be getting signs about this, to start paying attention to what somebody's attachment style is. If they're showing you that they're avoidant and you know that that's not something that you want, then you need to be aware of that, okay? For others of you, you need to be aware of these tendencies within yourself. Okay, you need to be aware of the fact that maybe you are a little avoidant, and that's what causes situations to end up the same way that they always end up. If you want to see goals come to light, if you want to achieve something, if you want to be successful in something, whether it's a relationship, whether it's success, career, anything, you need to increase your efforts. You got to put in the work. You got to treat things that are important like a priority. That's just what I'm getting here, okay? And for some of you guys, you can't let something continue to go on the way it is. You got to make little changes. You got to tweak things sometimes. You got to keep up with the times. If this is your business or something and you're trying to make something work, it's like you have to recognize that. I feel like the healing is possible within this situation, whether you are an avoidant, dealing with an avoidant, whether this is your business you feel like is not doing what you want it to do, or something in your life is just not happening the way that you want it to happen. It's like this is a very healable situation here. It just takes you taking the power into your own hands and putting that magic touch on something with the star, okay? I feel like there's a creative element here that maybe hasn't been explored, and it needs to be explored, okay? Now, for some of you who are dealing with avoidance, or you are an avoidant, there's something deep within your psyche, maybe marriage in general. You know, you see how people treat marriage. Maybe you're like me and you see people don't really treat marriage like it's sacred. Not everybody, obviously, but you know, I know I'm generalizing, but I'm just saying, you know? And so maybe it makes you want to stay far away from that, because it's like, I don't want to commit myself to somebody and then this person's sitting there flirting with their coworker or something. Like, I'm not trying to go down like that. I'm not trying to look like an asshole like that. Maybe you watched your parents kind of stay together, but they weren't really happy. Maybe you've seen that a lot in your family. People in these marriages or in connections that they don't really want to be in these connections. They're just in these connections because they don't want to be alone, or they have children, or they have finances, or whatever, or we've been together this long, we might as well stay together. It's like there's not a lot of love or passion that you're seeing in commitments, but that doesn't mean that that's how you have to be. you know? And that doesn't mean that that's how all marriages, all commitments are. So there's a need to take a deeper look at the root of the issue here of what makes you avoidant in connections, whether this is you or somebody else, okay? And if this is somebody else, this is what somebody's doing right now. And this is what the signs could be possibly telling you, Gemini. Like somebody is taking the deep dive right now and trying to see why they react to things the way they react, or what makes them avoid certain commitments or things that feel very good and very powerful, like, you know, them situations that they can't control, what makes them want to run away from things like that, okay? All right. I feel like if this is talking about your career or something like that, Gemini, I feel like you are going to solidify something and you're going to shine, and it's going to be freaking amazing, okay? It is. But you have to, you know, again, put effort into it, use your ingenuity, use your creativity, make it happen, Captain, okay? What is this chair filled? Who is this person that's coming into Gemini's life? And what is the sign trying to tell Gemini about this chair filled here? Ooh, we have the Page of Cups. Ew, okay? Got a little lover here coming through. For some of y'all, though, this could be a child. Maybe the signs are telling you that you're meant to have a child, you will have a child, okay? Or that there's going to be a child coming into your life. Maybe, you know, your sister, your brother, your kid, somebody is going to have a baby, okay? That could be what the signs are trying to tell you here. But for the majority of you, yeah, this is a new boo, okay? For sure. Gemini got a little boo thing that's about to enter their life, okay? This person's going to be hot too and give you a lot of passion, a lot of desire, and they are going to feel like, Gemini, you might have a little like self-confidence issues. You might not find that you're that attractive or aesthetically attractive or whatever. You know, maybe you're a little big, maybe you're a little small. Maybe you don't like your hair, or maybe you don't like, you know, whatever, you're built, how your stature is. I don't know. There's something here where there's a little bit of self-consciousness, right? But I feel like whoever this is that's coming in your life, they're going to like worship you. They are going to love everything about you. You got a little bit of a belly, man, all they want to do is lay their head on that thing and rub it. Okay? All night long. That's what they want to do. They love it. Okay? If you, you know, you're a short king, let's just say that, they don't care at all. They love you just as you are. They like you. They're attracted to you just as you are. I'm getting the energy of somebody who's coming in, and they're going to really help boost your self-esteem, because I feel like it's been low, especially if you went through some kind of rejection recently and maybe you internalized something like, oh, I wasn't enough, you know? That's why this person didn't commit. That's why this person didn't put effort in. Or whatever, I wasn't enough. But no, that's not the case, Gemini, you know? So yeah, I feel like you're going to be meeting somebody. This person's going to be very romantic. They're going to want to spend time with you. They're going to want to talk to you. They're going to want to maybe whisper sweet nothings to you, or they might be coming with like bearing gifts, because the original Page of Cups brings a fish, and it's the only one that actually brings something in its cup. So somebody could be wanting to bring things to you. They could like to buy you things, or they could like to make you things, create you things if they're an artist or something. Maybe they write music or something. They're going to write you a little limerick, okay? But this person is going to be like, oh my Lord, when they see you. They're going to be like, oh, where you been my whole life? You know? They'll be like, come over here. You can be like, stop it, okay? Like, I'm getting that kind of energy. So yes, I feel like somebody's gonna be very attracted to you, and you're meant to meet this person again. And I don't feel like they're there just to boost your self-esteem. Like, I feel like this person is there to also, like, for you to boost their self-esteem, or for you to be a partner to them. Tell me more about this person that's coming into Gemini's life, or has already came in. Some of you guys have met this person recently. Okay, and you know exactly who this is talking about, because again, you're getting signs about this person. But some of you guys could be getting signs that somebody in general is coming in. So y'all gotta take it as it resonates. There's a lot of people watching these videos, and I don't know, this isn't a personal, you know, this is a general reading. So you gotta grab what kind of fits for you in each given situation. But for some of you guys, yeah, you see this person's name all the time, or their birthday, or you hear songs that just remind you of this person, and you see their face in your mind's eye, and you're like, oh my God, why do I keep seeing things about this person? Stop it, you know? For others of you, you could be just hearing a lot of love songs suddenly, or like getting a lot of signs that are kind of indicating that, yeah, you're gonna be matched up soon. Who is this person that's coming in here? Oh, that was way too many. But the Ten of Swords on the top, this person could be coming in after a letdown that you experienced here. Two of Wands. This person's gonna come in from a distance. This person could be at a distance though, for real, with that globe energy, but they don't have to be, okay? This person is going to expand your world and open you up, all right? But there is gonna be some kind of choice here that's involved with this person, like a choice to take some kind of action, Gemini. Maybe that's what the signs are trying to tell you, is that you need to take action in regards to this for this to actually happen. We see that over here anyways. But I feel like what Spirit is trying to tell you with the signs is like, don't be afraid to take some kind of action. Don't be afraid to step a little bit out of your comfort zone here. Like, you know, sometimes greatness lies at the end of our comfort zone, right? 3 of Pentacles. I feel like this is somebody you're going to work very well with, okay? Maybe you guys are meant to make some kind of money together or work on some kind of creative project together, for sure. Okay, Ace of Wands wanting to come back out. Yeah, I feel like this is somebody that is going to invoke a lot of passion in your life. This is somebody that you could definitely have a legacy with, or one day have some kind of committed relationship with. You know, and I'm hearing that song from Frank Sinatra where he's saying that I did it my way, okay? So I feel like you guys are going to have your own kind of relationship. Like, you can create your own rules. You know, maybe your marriage or your relationship is not going to be very conventional. It's not going to look like everybody else's, but that's okay. You guys are doing it your way, and that's why it's going to be successful here. Whoever this is that's coming in, they're going to be a partner, and they're going to make you want to change or make you want to take action. It's like this person comes in like a frenzy and totally like almost turns your whole world upside down. And some of it can be very uncomfortable, I'm feeling, but ultimately it's leading you to this passionate, loving commitment. So some of you guys who maybe people have said you have high standards, how dare you want to be talked to every day, right? How dare you want this and that and the other? You just have too high a standard. You're just expecting too much. Well, they're going to be eating crow when you meet the person that's willing to give you all of what you expect and more, right? Because I'm a firm believer of if you wanted to, you would. I'm a firm believer in that, guys. I used to gaslight myself back in the day thinking that, oh, people are just this, they got that, they did this going on, that going on. No, at the end of the day, it's pretty fucking clear. It's blindingly clear, actually. If they wanted to, they would. They would. Okay? So maybe that kind of mentality that you have of I'm not going to settle for anything less than what I want and what I'm willing to give up in this biatch, okay, is going to manifest somebody into your life that, again, is going to give you all of what you want and more. Like, this person's like, I don't think that's too rough at all. It's giving me the energy of, I watched this reel really quick, guys. I watched this reel, and this girl, she was talking about how her dad used to make fun of her mom because she collected all these mugs. Like, everywhere she'd go, she'd get a different mug and she would collect them, and he used to always make fun of her about it and all this stuff. Well, you know, they divorced eventually, and she met a new guy, and that became her stepdad. And she's like, and her stepdad's up there building a whole shelf for her mugs. See what I'm saying? It's like, when it's right for you, it's right for you. And maybe you are with somebody, or you've been with people who, yeah, they don't appreciate the fact that you like mugs. But one day you're going to meet somebody that's going to build you a shelf for your mugs, okay? So hold out for that. Teardrops with the sunrise. What is this trying to say to Gemini for what the signs are trying to tell Gemini, gang? Teardrops with the sunrise. What is this trying to say for what the signs? Ooh, okay. We have the 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, something might have caused you to go up and down here, be up and down, all right? Maybe you knew somebody was weighing their options. Maybe you were weighing your options. Maybe there was just an imbalance here, okay? And it's like, one day it's going good, one day it's not going good. This could even be in your business or something. Take it as it resonates. It could be with your health. The signs are telling you, though, right, to balance yourself out. Get on the same page with yourself. There might be a choice that's needed to be made in regards to this situation as well, but healing is possible. And I feel like that's what the signs are trying to tell you, that something is not done yet. You just need to balance yourself out. There's a choice that's being made here currently. I don't know if it's you making a choice or somebody else making a choice in regards to you, but there's a need for patience and recalibration, especially if you're going through some kind of pain here. Some of you guys are being called to take some kind of inspired action. This rounds back to increasing your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. Some of you, it's like you're in this in-between area here. 7 of Pentacles. It's a great card, but it's one of the most frustrating cards for me because it talks about patience, and I am somebody who doesn't have a lot of patience. I'm trying to work on that. You know, I I feel like the first step is acknowledging that you have a problem, right? So, hey, I'm doing something here. But 7, 8, 9 Pentacles, something is going to get you there, Gemini. It's just that right now you're in the in-between. So you've started the garden, right? You've tended to the seedlings, you've done pest control, you've weeded, you're making sure it's watered and everything is going good, and you're not quite to the harvest yet, but you're in that in between where there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of waiting, there's a lot of hoping that something works out. Okay, it is going to. Keep your balance while this is happening. Tend to yourself while nature is taking over, like, you know, while fate is taking over whatever this is. Tend to yourself because you've done a lot of work to get this garden going. You deserve a nice hot shower. You deserve a nice cup of tea or coffee, a nice meal. Take care of yourself while this is growing. This is in Spirit's hands now, is the energy that I'm getting, okay? You have followed your inspired action. You've done what you need to do, and that's it. Now, for others of you, there's somebody around you that is considering offering you something. I feel like somebody feels sad. They feel like they missed the boat. They might be too late because somebody new might be coming into your life, and you might be like, yeah, well, you're the one that made fun of me for my mugs, and this person's wanting to build me a whole shelf for my mugs. I'm going to go with the builder here, you know? That could be how some of y'all are feeling. But I do feel like somebody might want to come in and offer you something very stable here, you know? And they're wanting to take some kind of inspired action. I'm just not really liking it because as far as a love offer, because this is 9 Pentacles, which talks about independence and being a little single. And then this is not the greatest energy, right? I mean, it's the Page of Wands. So it's like somebody might be full of a lot of regret and remorse and want to offer you something, but they might not have actually absorbed the lesson of why things fell apart to begin with. Now, if this person comes back speaking to you like I'm speaking to you right now and telling you all these things that they've clearly taken time to, like, you know, think about this stuff, then okay, that's different. But if somebody comes back to you on some half-ass, well, you know, I just figured we should give it a go again. I don't know, Gemini, okay? But the signs could definitely be telling you that somebody's having a lot of judgments, they're having a lot of reflection, an awakening that's happening within them, okay? Maybe this person was hoping that you would come back and they were being very patient and waiting. Yeah, see, 7 of Swords. I don't like it. But see, you have a bullshit detector. Maybe this person knows that. You know? You have a bullshit detector. For some of you guys, the signs are, again, also telling you there's a sneaky snake. And maybe you know this. Maybe you've been up and down about actually, like, you know, calling this person out. For some of you guys that own businesses or something, somebody could be taking a little fat off the roast here. Okay, maybe if you share tips with somebody at work or something like that. And I mean like cash tips. They're pocketing some. Or for some of you guys, they're taking your ideas. You know? There's just something about how her back's turned here. And I know this is an ancestor, but just for the sake of this reading, how this cat's kind of like grabbing at that pentacle and she's not paying attention. There's something here with that. And I feel like some of you guys already know you're needing to stand up for yourself, or you're needing to call a spade here in this situation. This is not about feelings. This is about business for somebody. Okay. Somebody is sinking your business, or somebody is doing something that they don't need to do, for sure. Okay. That is what I'm getting. Okay. Let's get some, advice and additional messages here. Advice and additional messages for Gemini gang for this, what the signs are trying to tell them reading. Advice and additional messages, please. Victory. Card number 40. Okay? Victory is yours. That's what the signs are trying to tell you. You're going to be victorious when it comes to something. You are. But there might be a need to look at something in a different way. You know, the binoculars, they're upside down here. And I feel like that's so symbolic. Because when you look through binoculars the wrong way, it makes everything look extra far away versus what it's intended to, which is zoom things in closer, right? So maybe there's a need for you to take a deeper look at something, or maybe like a higher perspective from a different point of view, like remove yourself from the situation and look at this like you're an outside person looking in at this. That might be something that's significant here, but also it could just be your perception that's causing you not to see something correctly. Victory is a lot closer than what you might think it is, okay? What are the signs trying to tell Gemini? Ooh, that breakthrough card really wanted to pop. It really wanted to pop, but it didn't. We have unknown gift, card number 41. Interesting. We have 40, 41. Some of you guys could be seeing numbers like that, you know, that are increasing. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Things like that. But yeah, there's an unknown gift here. I love how that's coming out right on top of that new person that's entering the chat, Gemini. Yeah. They're a gift, okay? A gift from the divine. I feel like, again, there's gonna be somebody that comes in here and just really loves and appreciates you for who you are. They find everything about you so enticing, so scrumptious, so yummy. I feel like somebody's very sexual too, I ain't gonna lie. But I do feel like, because I'm getting a lot of those innuendos that I'm not going to say, but I feel like there's somebody that just is like, wow, you are literally everything I could ever want. It's a miracle that you're off the market, but I'm happy that you are, right? I'm happy that it didn't work out with anybody else because I get to have you. Somebody's gonna feel that way about you, Gemini. Signs could be telling you this. Signs could be telling you to not, to hold out for the best here and not lower your standards or not settle for less than stellar, This person might be a little different too. Like, they might not be your usual type, your usual expectations here. But maybe your usual type and expectations isn't the best for you, Gemini, because it hasn't really worked out, right? So maybe you need to try something different. Maybe you need to try something new, We have See Beyond Your Past, card number 23. Yeah. You need to let that glide away, right? But there's deep reflection here, and I feel like that's what the signs are trying to tell you. It's time to move on from your past. Let something from your past go because you're ready to welcome that newness into your life. We have Almost There, card number 44. And I love this card because it's got the fox on it, and I love foxes, right? Who doesn't? But there's also this energy here of this laser beam or whatever that's like right on top of the fox's back, and it's always giving me the energy of like a pressure, like feeling something, feeling the pressure of something. So the signs could be trying to tell you that change is coming. Something is coming. Something is about to shift. Something is about to change, and you can feel that spiritual pressure on your back. Yes, you are the one that's about to change. Metamorphosis, card number 34. Yeah, a lot of fours we're seeing. We have Perception, card number 21. Don't bury your head in the sand here about things. The signs could be trying to tell you to, again, call a spade, see something as it is. Don't let nobody fool you. Whether they're taking tips from the tip jar or they're trying to involve you in some kind of third party, or they're not showing up in the way that they should be showing up in this connection or whatever, or something needs a little bit new of a pizzazz put on it and doesn't need to just continue going on the same way that it's been going on. Whatever this is talking about for you, Gemini, there's a need to get your head out of the sand and see something for what it is, because that is going to help you, okay, at the end of the day here. What else do we have here? One more for Gemini gang, for what the signs are trying to tell them. One more. And we have focus on the bigger picture here. Yes. Focus on the bigger picture, card number 19, guys. Something is going to be better than you can imagine, card number 39. So right now, it might feel a little bit like, okay, well, I don't know. I don't have the clarity. I don't know where something's going, or I don't think it's happening the way that I want it to, or whatever. But you need to focus on the bigger picture of why you're doing something and how something can be. It's like manifesting and keeping yourself high vibrational. Something is going to turn out better than even you can imagine. But see, this little baby in the incubator, it's not ready yet. It's not fully realized yet. So right now is a time to really focus on your perspective and perception of something that's showing up several times here, and believing yourself and letting go of past negative thoughts and situations, because something is going to be better than what you can even imagine that it would be. Okay, guys, that has been your reading. I do hope that it helps. I hope it resonates. I hope it does something. And I will certainly see you on the next one. Bye.